Hello everyone, good evening. I hope everyone is doing great. So today we are going to start a new series on App Studio or the low code development. Okay. So what we are going to see on this one is that let's say that if your lead is already created an applications in Pega, okay, and now as a citizen developer, as a business analyst, okay, your job is to add a case type. So that we will be doing from the App Studio, adding a case type from the App Studio. And then what we'll be doing, we'll be creating one data model. Okay, let's say in that case type, okay, something which you want to fetch from the external system. Okay, how will fetch the data from external system, and also we want to map the data, okay, which we receive from the external system on the UI of your case type. Okay, so end to end we are going to see this one today, and I'll be creating few more videos in future on the App Studio, okay, or the low code development. So let's start. Okay, so as first step I have already completed, I have already created an applications that I have done it from the dev studio. Now I'll start from creating a case type. Okay, so my application is a very simple application, so it's event management application. Okay, so let's say if any company wants to host an event, okay, what they need to do is they need to create a hosting, let's say hosting case type. Okay, so event management is the application's name, and host or hosting, whatever we can say, host is a case type where we'll have just a two stage. Okay, one is the create and one is approve. That's it. Okay, and in create, okay, we will have a two steps. So the first steps is filling the event details, and second steps is uh, getting the weather details, okay, on the of that particular date and location. Okay, so we'll not consider date for now, but we'll be fetching the weather details. Okay, because I don't have a page just based on the location. Okay, because for any event the weather is important, that what will be the weather on a particular date. Okay, and then your manager can approve that yes, we can host that event, whether is good or bad depending on that his review. Okay, so let's start that. Okay, and I'll not jump to Dev Studio. I'll jump only to Dev Studio to show in the background what Pega is creating. Okay, but not for any work. Okay, so let's start that. So I'll just simply say create case type. So it's asking the name. So I'll just simply say that hosting. So hosting is my case type. Hosting is a case type. I'll in advance, we don't have to go anything. So applications layer are already coming, that in which layer we want to create. So we want to create event applications case layer. Let's click on next. So it will create a case type, okay, from the App Studio. And now after this we can add the stage and steps. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'll be just using two stage, okay, create and approve for now. But if I can do two stage, we can do n number of stages from the App Studio. So create is already added by Pega, and I'll say approve reject. Approved. In this approve, I'll be using just the Pega out of the box approve reject. Okay, and I'll say approve event. Okay, here, so you can see that the routing, so it's not that from the App Studio we can do 100% work, but at least we can create the basic structure for the developers. Okay, so here we have few options: specific users, work, business logic. But for now I'm not going and modifying that. Okay, I'm just selecting the specific user and admin. Okay, so this is done. Now our next task is to add the UI, okay, from the App Studio only. If I'll just save and run, we'll see nothing. Okay, because there is no UI. It will see that configure UI. So you can see that nothing is coming. Now let's go ahead and add some user interface to this case type from the App Studio only, not from the Dev Studio. So let's close this one, save and close. Let's go to our case type again. So we can create now, basically to create an UI, first we need the data model. Okay, so the data model can be created from two places. One is from the configure view directly, or you can create separately this data model and use it here. So for the first one, okay, event details, I'll be creating from here, and for the second one I'll be creating from the data, this navigations data. So let's do that. So first I'll be updating event details. So event details, for any event what we need is that event name, okay, event locations and event date. So these three things will be adding that. So I'll quickly add event details here. So event details, under event details, as we discussed that we will have a three things, means it's an object and it will be of single type. Okay, so what we'll be selecting the type for this one is that embed data. Okay, because we don't want to refer that. Okay, so the data will not come from anywhere. Okay, so we will not use any of these, we'll just use embed data. Okay, I'm not going into detail of each, because here I'm just trying to explain that how we can do it. Okay, maybe in other sessions, like once I'll create more videos on the in the low code app studio, I'll explain that as well, but today I'll be using embed data, and in the next one for the external system I'll be using query. So I'll say embed data. In this embed data, I'll be selecting define new object, because as of now we have not created any data type. So I'll select event details. So when I'm creating object from here, it will automatically create in your implementation layer or your applications layer. It won't do in organization. So from here we do not get opportunity. So if you want to create in a particular layer, then you might need to consider doing from the data. Okay, I'll show you that one. So here this will go to like if you are a citizen developer, okay, or business analyst, maybe you'll not understand, but if you're a developer you'll understand that if I'm doing from the here, it will create in the implementations layer. Okay, I'll show you that class. So let's quickly create here and then click on submit. So it will create a page type property, okay, in the hosting class, and then I'll again select this one and create a section of view, okay, event details, and in this one, so it's created a view, and in this view one I'll add 3 attributes. So you can follow that. So let's say if you are doing the POC, you can just follow what I'm doing, okay, and it will work for you. So I'll simply create 3 property, event name, submit, add another, then event location, so it will also be type text, and then third one I'll be creating event date. So for this one I'll select the date and time both. So I'll say submit. Now let's click on submit. After this one I'll again run and show you that we'll be able to see that the event details section, okay, or the user interface. So I'm running that case type. So see, we can see that event name, event locations, event date. So see how quickly we did it from the App Studio. Okay, so we created a data of how many things we did. We created a data model for the event details. We created that user interface. Everything we did it very quickly. Okay, from the App Studio. Let me quickly show you in the Dev Studio what all rule Pega created in the background. So the first of all, it will create a data class. Okay. So if I quickly go and in the app layer I'll change to data, then we can see that one class got created called data class, and Pega is by default, it has kind of it should not be concrete. Okay, so I'll just make it abstract. So this is the one change I'm doing, but even if you have that concrete, it won't harm, but ideally we should change it to abstract because I'm not going to have any instances for this one. Okay, then inside this one we can see that we created 3 attribute, okay, event locations, name and date, that also came, and then the one section or the view, okay, with event details section also we created, and it has like Pega from the App Studio only, it mapped event name, locations and event date, and then Pega referred this one to the main section. Okay, it's not showing the reference, but it has been referred, okay, from our main sections. Even if I have to show you, I'll show you from here, from the hostings. In this one we can see a section, okay, in user interface sections, create. Inside create we are calling event detail sections on that attribute event details. So this is the property which we created, and this property is here. So if you're just trying to learn, and if you're App Studio developer, citizen developer, you don't have to check these things. I just showed you that yes, it will be like this. Okay, so in the background Pega will create these many rules, and as I was saying that it will create in the implementations data layer. So yes, so this is our implementation data layer. Okay, so fine, as of now we didn't did any changes from the Dev Studio. We created a case type, we added a stage, steps, and then we created one data model, and then we created the user interface for that data model. Now in the event, in any event, okay, the weather details is important. So in the next screen, in my case type, I'm going to add the weather details, okay, and that I'll be fetching from the external system, okay, and populating on the UI. So let's see how we can do it. So again, here I'll say the weather details. Now to add this weather details, okay, I'll not use configure view. First I need to create the object, and that I want to plug, like, source it to external system, okay. So I'll go here in the data, and I'll do it from the here. I'll show you. So as we can see here, that event details is already created, okay, and inside this one we should see all those attributes, okay, event date, name, locations, okay, that we just now saw from the dev studio as well, and then it is referred with that reference by the hosting case type, so that we can see. Now we want to add a new one called weather. Okay, so weather details. So this is again object, and here it's asking advance. Okay, so this is where we are getting an opportunity that we want to consume this one, or we want to create this on implementation data class or organizations data class. So we already saw that we created event details on implementation data class. This one I'll do it in organizations data class, okay. So some with, I don't know why I'm not getting, okay, event looks like there is some issue, or there is no app, okay. So I'm getting implementation data class. When I was doing POC, maybe I had that app, so I was getting opportunity to do on app layer, like organizations layer as well, but fine, okay. So here I'll leave it for now, also implementation data class. Now click on next. Here, okay, that we want to get the data from external system. So then I'm not selecting pega, I'm selecting get weather details, okay. And now here it is asking me to enter the endpoint URL, okay. So I'm using this weather API, okay, which is from the internet, weatherapi.com. So what it does is that it takes 3 parameter, key, and then locations, okay, and then this one. This is a 3 parameter, Q, AQI, okay, and then key. So AQI, you can pass anything, yes or no, doesn't matter, okay. So I'll take this URL, okay, and today I'm trying with the get method, okay, not with the post. So simply I'll put this endpoint URL, and in this one we want what we want to parameterize. So for now I'll leave it the key hard coded, and then Q also no hard coded. I just want to parameterize Q, means basically whatever the event locations, I want to fetch the weather details for that location, okay. So what I'll be doing, I'll just selecting Q, and in this one I'll say location. So the parameter locations, param.locations will go into Q, okay. Now let's initialize the call. Here I got the live response. If you want, if you have the JSONs, you can upload that JSONs as well. And for now, here you can see that add locations is there and current is there. So inside locations we have few details, and inside current we have few details, okay. So for now, what I'll be doing, I'll be creating the all, okay. So I'll simply say add all. So what it will do, it will create the whole structure, okay, into the data layer as well, okay. But maybe you don't need it, okay. So you need to review with your leads, okay, and see how much you need it. That much also you can add it, okay. So it has that opportunity, okay. So for now I'm adding all and clicking next. So, and then also you can see that, so the few of the benefits is from the here only, Pega will create the application settings for the endpoint URL and also for the authentications. So we don't have to do it later, okay. If you're doing from the dev studio, you need to do it, okay. In the wizard, that options is not there, okay. So here that everything is there. Now we don't have any stage or the prod URL, so we are just going with the dev. Now let's submit it. So the moment I'll submit, it will create the rule, okay. Whatever the rule Pega creates from the dev studio, like connector rule, request data transform, response data transform, everything it will create, and one data page, okay. So that is the most important. It will create one data page through which we'll be calling our connector, okay. So you can see that it created a current and locations. If I click on current, whatever the attribute it was showing, everything pega created. And then you can see that conditions was embedded data, then it created conditions as well. So the whole structure pega created that. As I'm saying again, that you may not need it in your real project, so you need to see that how much data you need it. But here I'm just trying to show that's where I created everything. Now let me again navigate it back, and you can see that it is showing source of record is get weather details. Okay, and this is the data page. Okay, so if I'll click on this data page, it is showing this one. Okay, so get weather details, and you can clearly see that it's saying rest. Okay, and from here we can open this, like we can update environment settings. If you want to update that endpoint URL or authentication schemes, that we can do it from the App Studio itself. We don't have to go to Dev Studio for this as well. Now to show you quickly, I'll open this in Dev Studio, this data page, and you can see that Qtometa event app data weather details, it consumed on this layer. And then we have this is the REST connector. Okay, so in this REST connectors we map that. Okay, so we have that app settings also pega created that. Okay, and in development we have the base URL, and for the parameters you can see that the key is constant, AQI is constant, and then Q is parameterized locations. If I come in this weather details, or parameter is location. So you can see that everything is from the App Studio. We have not touched yet anything from the Dev Studio. Okay, and then here also the pega created response data transform. Okay, and then everything it mapped. Okay, from the app Studio itself. Okay, so now our service is kind of ready. Now we need to use this service. Okay, and show this details, show the output result on the UI. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let's navigate again back to App Studio. But before doing that, okay, I'll be doing one thing. Okay, that I'll be adding one data classes. So if I'll click show here, so we can see that, see, pega created that all the data weather details, and inside this conditions, current, weather details, location. So everything pega created that. So now what I'll be doing, I'll be just adding this class, okay, to my App Studio. So that is like, because what is happening is that pega is not adding all class to our cases and data in application. So maybe we'll not get these classes access from the App Studio. Okay, so for that, this is the small change which I'll be doing from the Dev Studio. Okay, so I'll simply add locations. I'll search that. Let me see. One second. So I'll search it like this with the details. With the details, current, conditions, I need the locations. Yeah, so with the details and locations, this is the one class, because I'll be using just locations. If you want to add the current one as well, we can do that. So I'll just use that locations for now to display on the UI. Okay, or we can use current as well. Okay, so this is the one change, and even this is not the coding, it's just we are adding the data, okay, to our cases and data tab. Now let's navigate it back to again App Studio. So again, what is our use case now is that we consume the service, okay, from the App Studio. Now we want to display the response on the UI. Okay, so let's go back to our case type, click on hosting. So we have the weather details. Okay, so now let's click on configure view. I'll be creating one object called weather details. So this be weather details, and this time, instead of selecting embedded data, we want to query from external system. Okay, so this time I'll be selecting query. Okay, and then if you remember, in the data page we have one parameter, okay, that was location. So I'll be selecting the weather details, and from the weather details, this is our data page name, weather details, because it is asking data page. And you can see that we have that locations, right? So instead of constant, I can pass this value here to London or ABC or Kolkata, whatever. But here also we have the options to give a dynamic field. Okay, see how much powerful it is. Okay, so here I'll be selecting that event location. If you remember that we have that locations in the event. So see, event locations I'm selecting. So whatever be the value I'll be giving on the first screen, that locations, that will be passed to this one. It will fetch the details okay, for that location. Okay, so the weather details of that locations. Now click on submit, and then again we'll say weather details. We'll be creating another section. So this is common, like it's basically, it's like embedded data structure, embedded sections we are creating. So yeah, so in this one weather details, now we want to show that locations details. So I'll be selecting location. So inside that weather details, if you saw, there was one, if I'll show you quickly here in the response. So we have that locations, and then we have inside that locations we have current. Okay, so what I'll be trying to map is this much detail itself, just that locations from that response. Okay, so now come here and I'll be selecting locations, and this time I'll be selecting embed data. Okay, because we just want to show the details. Okay, and because before this one we have already referred the data page d underscore get weather details. So get d underscore get weather details will have get weather details dot locations dot this dot these ones, name, reason. So everything it's already there, so we just want to map it. Okay, so see how I'm trying to map it. So embed data, and this time I'll be selecting the location. So you can see that why I added this current and locations to get here. Okay, so I'll be selecting just locations, and then click on submit. This property already exists. Okay, so let me, I think some issue. Okay, locations I'm getting, let me create with locations 1. Okay, and submit. Now inside that one again we need to create one more sections, okay, to show that locations details. So this time all the attribute from the location should automatically come here. So see, it came name, region, and you can see that these are from the response. Okay, so because the when we consume, Pega already created these things in the data layer. So now I'll click on submit. So if you see, we have built that UI. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Okay, everything is done. The only thing which didn't work is that location. So somehow it didn't create it. It was saying duplicate. Because of that, it may not work. Okay, so let me create, save and run, and I'll correct that one from the Dev Studio, and I'll show you. So in the event name, let's say test. Okay, and the locations I'll say, I'll give London, and then event date I'll select something, and then click on continue. So see, this locations is not coming. Okay, so the two things which we need to do, okay, from the Dev Studio, which, and this is very minor. So still 80 to 90% work we are doing from the App Studio. So let's go and do this small two things. Okay, so the first things which we need to do is initialize that locations object. Okay, so weather details dot locations we need to initialize, and we need to initialize in that default data transform of our hosting application. So we'll go to default data transform, py default. In that py default data transform we have py set field default. So I'll just be initializing that one here. So I'll just say update page, and then I'll say event weather details dot location. Okay, so this is what I'll be doing. That's it. Comment, save. Okay, so now one more things which we need to do is we use that locations. Now we just want to correct that one. Okay, to locations, from locations 1 to location. Okay, so in weather details we should find the sections there we can correct it. So weather details, let me see the details, search weather details inside this one, and then here you can see that it should be locations 1. I'll just select that location, submit. Now, so two things I did it. Okay, one I did it that I initialized that locations. Okay, and the second thing I did it is that updated that property, because somehow it was saying that it's already exist. Okay, so that's the two things I'm doing. Or I should have selected, basically, yeah, I kind of a small mistake I did it is that locations 1 property also we don't have to create. Okay, and this locations 1 things which we don't have to, I'll show you quickly what I'm trying to say. That also you'll get it from here itself. Basically I was trying to create which was already there. Okay, so that was my mistake. I, instead of like here, if I come here and come here, I should have selected from this side. Okay, but I was trying to create, and that is where it was complaining. So I should have selected from this side. If I'll search here, we should get that location. see that field is there. Okay, so I should have just clicked on this, okay, and that should have worked. Okay, so instead of that I was trying to create. So you need to just, one thing which you need to do is just initialize. Okay, I think that also, if I would have used this approach, okay, then that issue will also might go away. Okay, so we find out small issues. Okay, that also we are trying to see that how we can resolve it. Okay, so if I should have selected from here, it should have added it here and all, or maybe it would have initialized as well. Okay, but fine, as of now we have done almost nothing from the dev studio. Now let's save and run and see if you are getting the data, weather details. Okay, for that locations whatever I'm giving. Click on continue. See, we got the details. Let's go back and give another. See, we are getting Toronto, Ontario. So see how much easy it is. Okay, like yes, it might feel that it's complex if you're doing for the first time, but once you do, once you practice, okay, it's very easy. Okay, and obviously you must have seen that in this entire things. Okay, I just added one data class in the apps, in the applications. Okay, to display, to basically bring that in the app studio. Okay, otherwise I didn't did anything. That locations was my mistake. If you just add it from that left side, that also you don't have to do. Okay, so this is it. Okay, we completed that the multiple things from the app studio. Please try and let me know, okay, if you're facing any issue, I can help on this one. Thank you very much. Have a good day.